caught her cheating on me. I'm a 27-year-old dude. And this story isn't some dramatic movie script, but it's a raw, in-your-face reminder where there's smoke, there's fire, and when that fire is cheating, you don't stand around debating. You kick that shit to the curb. That's exactly what I did, though it took some hard lessons to get there. I'd been with my girlfriend, who's 25, for 3.5 years. We were solid, or so I thought. Then, about a month ago, things started to feel off. It wasn't a sudden thing, more like a slow, creeping chill. My first real gut punch came when she shaved her entire pubic area and got it waxed. She'd never done that for me, ever. We'd been together for years, had sex regularly, and suddenly she's getting all dolled up down there. My mind immediately went to something's up. It was a small thing, maybe, but it nagled at me. Then, the sex completely dried up. We used to be at it a couple of times a week, sometimes more. It was a healthy part of our relationship. But for the last 2 months, it was like hitting a brick wall. Every time I'd try to initiate anything, she'd hit me with the, "I'm just so tired from work." At first, I bought it. She's a flight attendant. Their hours are brutal. So I thought, okay, she's genuinely exhausted. But as the weeks piled up, that excuse started to sound like a broken record, and my suspicions began to fester again. It just didn't add up, going from frequent intimacy to absolutely nothing, all while she's suddenly getting waxed. The third red flag, the one that really set off the alarms, happened one evening when she came home from work. I usually picked her up from the airport. We even shared locations, so I could always see when her plane landed and track her on the way home. This particular day, her flight landed, but her location stayed put at the airport for an extra 2 hours. 2 hours after a long flight, sometimes several days of flying. She just hangs out. She didn't text me, didn't ask me to come pick her up. That's when the gears really started grinding in my head. What the hell was she doing just sitting there? When her location finally started moving towards our place, I went to the window and peeked out. My stomach dropped like a stone. It wasn't a taxi, or an Uber, or even her just walking. It was one of our friends, a coworker of hers, who was also engaged. We'd hung out with him and his fiancée, as a couple, multiple times. This wasn't some random dude. This was someone we both knew, someone she saw at work. She walked in, looking a little too casual. I played it cool, trying to keep my voice even. "Oh, who drove you home?" I asked, like it was an innocent question. She paused, just for a beat, but it felt like an eternity. "A coworker," she finally said. Usually, she'd name the person. "John drove me," or "Sarah dropped me off." This generic "a coworker" felt like a shield. More red flags went up, flapping wildly in the wind. Weeks crawled by, and her whole demeanor shifted. It was a slow decay, but I could feel it. Her phone wallpaper changed something abstract, not like the old one of us. Her phone PIN changed too. She got a new phone, and she set up Face ID, but she never bothered to tell me the new PIN. We used to share everything, our phones, our accounts, since we started dating. It was just a given. Now, it was like her phone was a vault. She also stopped sending me memes. I know, it sounds small, but we used to trade memes all day. Every day, it was our thing, our way of connecting even when we were apart. In the last week before I caught her, they just stopped. And when she was around, she'd just be scrolling on her phone, not talking to me, giving me dry, one-word answers to my questions. She was being super protective of her phone, always keeping it face down, snatching it back if I even glanced at it. One day, I playfully reached for it, just to mess with her, and she yanked it back with this fake grin. I didn't say anything then, just a quiet, "What's up? Everything good?" And again, the same old line, "I've just been so tired from work." Yeah, right. Tired from work was her universal excuse for everything that felt off. My mind was a fucking battlefield at this point. I was running through every weird interaction, every changed habit, every excuse, the shaving, the no sex, the 2 hours at the airport, the engaged coworker driving her home, the phone changes, the lack of communication, the snatching of the phone. It was all a pattern, a giant, flashing neon sign that I was trying desperately to ignore because I didn't want to believe what it was screaming. The night I finally caught her, it was late, around 2 a.m. I'd been out with friends, just chilling, trying to clear my head. She was on a layover in another city. I sent her a text, just to see if she was awake, if she'd respond. No reply. But I knew her Instagram was still logged in on my PC at home. My gut was screaming at me. I was battling myself, the urge to just let it go against the desperate need to know, to settle the turmoil in my head. My suspicions had built up to an unbearable point. I knew what I had to do, even though I hated it. I opened her Instagram account, and there it was. Messages with the guy who drove her home. My heart pounded in my chest. I didn't even open the full chats immediately. I just saw the exchange list. The back and forth between them, I sent her another text, just to see if she'd respond. Still nothing. She was clearly live. Texting him, but couldn't bother to text me back. That's when I saw a message pop up on the preview that made my stomach drop like a goddamn anvil. So, are you going to do that to me? That was it. The dam broke. My fingers trembled as I opened the chat. I scrolled and scrolled, and then I saw it all. Messages about them hooking up. Him coming into my house. Our house, to nail her when I was at work. Plans to live together after they both separated from their significant others. Plans to kick me out of my own house, the house I own. I was fucking heartbroken. Tears streamed down my face. My house, my bed. While I was out there busting my ass at work, she was bringing another man into our home, into our shared space, doing God knows what. And they weren't just hooking up, they were plotting, scheming to break up with their partners, with me, and then move in together, in my house. I couldn't even wrap my head around the audacity. My mind reeled trying to understand. She was probably planning to string me along, pretending everything was fine while they carried on their affair. And then, once he was fully separated from his fiancée, she'd just pack her bags, leave me, and move in with him. In the house? What the hell was that about? We weren't married. There was no common law marriage. They actually thought they could just kick me out. The pure gall of it. I didn't even think. I just reacted. I confronted her via text, ending the relationship right there. It's over, I typed, my fingers shaking. Get all your belongings out immediately. Honestly, I wanted to use a lot stronger words than please, but I was too numb, too angry, too hurt to even formulate them. I just wanted her gone. I wanted her out of my life, out of my space, out of my house. The text started flooding in, begging, pleading, apologies I could stack to the ceiling. Please, just talk to me. I still love you. Don't do this. It was the usual cheater's playbook. Of course, she was busted. Her plans were ruined. She probably had nowhere to go. And I bet her little boyfriend pulled the rug out from under her too, once he realized she was single and the thrill of banging a woman with a boyfriend was gone. My mind was made up. There was no going back from this. No amount of begging or crying or I love yous was going to change what she did. I couldn't put myself in a position to see her, to hear her sob story, to risk falling for her bullshit again. She saw me as weak. She'd cry. And in her mind, I'd cave. But not this time. I couldn't understand why she wanted to talk so badly when she was actively planning to leave me. But I guess I screwed up her plans a little too early. I haven't responded to anything except messages about coordinating a day for her to pick up her stuff. Strictly business. No emotion. It hurts. Though, it cuts deep because I made myself vulnerable with her. I truly felt safe with her. We talked about getting married, starting a family. That was her deal breaker early on. She wanted a family. And I was hesitant at first. But over time, I started to see it. I saw a future with her. She was so loving, so caring. I even told her, stupidly, what my biggest fear was in a long-term relationship. My biggest fear is you cheating on me one day. She promised me she would never do that. She promised. I was even planning to propose to her this year. Guess it wasn't meant to be. Right now, I'm just dealing with the fallout. It's hard to focus at work. Every time my mind wanders, the memories hit me, and it feels like a punch to the gut. I really thought she was the one. This whole thing just confirms what my dad always told me. Don't let yourself get too safe, too vulnerable, even with the person you love. But I did, and she shattered it. It's a brutal reminder that where there's smoke, there's fire, and when things start adding up, you can't ignore it. She cheated, and now she's begging, pleading for me to take her back. But I know how this works. Her little affair probably didn't pan out with that guy. He just wanted to bang a flight attendant. And once she was available, it wasn't fun anymore. There are too many scumbags out there who get off on hooking up with women who are taken. No, I'm not taking her back. No guy should ever take back a cheater. They'll do it again. It's just how they operate. Honestly, I dodged a goddamn missile. Imagine if I'd married her, had kids, and then found this crap out. The damage would have been so much worse. It's wild how some professions just seem to line up with this kind of behavior. Nurses, teachers, and yeah, flight attendants. It's just sad. But there's a silver lining. I guess I'm done with her. I'm moving on. And hopefully, I don't pull a Kelly and take her back. I'm done being the guy who ignores the red flags. I'm done being the guy who lets himself get walked all over. This might hurt like hell right now, but at least I know the truth, and I'm out.